time then to have a quick look through this morning's newspapers. It's quite a momentous day, of course, for everybody, not least gay couples who now are able to get married. And some of those are doing that this very day, just after the law changed at midnight today. We'll welcome Lucy Gorman, who's a gay Christian in Hull, and she formed the Hull and East Riding Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual and Transgender Christian Fellowship. It's quite a mouthful, that, actually, isn't it? It's the LGBT Christian Fellowship. Obviously, I would assume that you're very happy about the change in the law today.
Yeah, absolutely, incredibly happy. As a gay person myself, it's kind of what you dream of is to be able to get married and have the same equal rights as far as marriage is concerned as a heterosexual couple would. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Do you know anybody who's tying the knot or is planning to?
I don't, actually. No, well, not personally. I have a few kind of friends over Twitter and stuff that are planning to tie the knot. But yeah, I have yet to receive my first invitation, so by all means send them in.
Yeah, we love a wedding. There still is a lot of argument about it. I mean, the fact that the law is passed doesn't stop people opposing it or having their own opinions on it. What do you think about the reaction? Because there are, even today, we're getting texts from people who still say it ain't right.
Yeah, I mean, although we've kind of got equality legally, it's a long way off kind of having equality, and it is about changing people's attitudes. The fact that kind of gay marriage and gay couples being together is something that some people have grown up thinking that's wrong, and I accept it is hard to kind of change your thinking when you've known that all your life. So yeah, I do understand it, but it is about sometimes just engaging with someone who is gay and listening to their story, and actually they're no different to anyone else.
We've had a text from somebody today really touching on what you've just mentioned there, that this is Kerry. She says she believes that it will adapt children to accept it as being a natural thing, and I worry that it will cause confusion when teaching children what's right and wrong in the eyes of God. So surely the issue, I suppose, is to teach children that people do different things, and some people love the same sex.
Yeah.
How do you... I mean, that's another argument that goes on in the papers quite regularly about whether homosexual couples ought to be represented, for example, in children's books. I mean, we already, some of the books I read to my little boy, that only the mum is represented or the dad is represented, because and he already has lots of friends who only live with their mum. Yeah. So do you think it's time that we started, having role models like that in children's literature and things?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to kind of to have a wide variety of kind of the different people that society has, so to speak. And children accept anything pretty much. Again, it's kind of based on what you grow up with. If you grow up with kind of knowing a same-sex couple, that's completely normal. Why is there any reason to question that? But yeah, it would be good to see kind of more gay couples and kind of gay people featured in kind of schools or children's books.
So whatever. It's not an issue from the get-go?
No, I don't think it is. Children accept anything, really, and yeah, they'll ask questions about it, but that's just because they're curious. I don't think it's going to damage any children.
Let's have a look at some of the things in the papers today then. We will, a little bit later on, actually, mention that quite a big meeting that you've got coming up a little bit later. But first, to the papers then. The Daily Telegraph on this subject of gay marriage, and David Cameron welcomes it.
Indeed, yeah. He's kind of said that yeah, this is great, this is the sort of country that we are, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just so nice to have. I mean, not everyone will agree with everything that David Cameron does, granted, but it's so nice to just have the country's backing on this, really. As a gay person myself, you have to fight for a lot of your human rights, and to finally have it here, to wake up this morning and know that I can now get married I can't explain that feeling. It's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, this kind of goes through some of the couples that are either already got married at midnight, or we have one in Hull today, which is brilliant. But yeah, I can't express my thankfulness about it all.
And in the Mirror today, parents telling of their 6-year-old's gender struggle.
Yeah, this one interested me really. It kind of follows on nicely from what's going on today. Obviously, we, as the Christian Fellowship, we also kind of welcome transgender people as well, and it's not something I've been through, but I can't imagine what it's like growing up knowing that you're in the wrong body. But I really admire these parents because this child's 6 years old, and he wants to be a girl, and as far as she's concerned, she is a girl. And I just admire the parents really, because it must really be hard knowing that your child is going through this, and to just accept it, and to buy her dresses, and to let her play with dolls if that's what she wants to do. So many children feel that they have to wait until they're older and kind of have to kind of go through puberty before they can kind of start hormone treatment. And if this is who she wants to be, and her parents are letting her be this makes her life so much easier in the future. When she hits puberty and stuff can be stopped.
Or even makes things easier now, because I suppose they must also be asking themselves, is this just a phase?
Yeah, I mean,
she's only 6.
Yeah, it says in the article that they wondered whether this was a phase, but this has been going on for about 18 months or so now, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, it might be. It might, she might just want to play with kind of girls' toys and wear girls' clothes and explore that. But I think the whole transgender issue starts from quite an early age. I know kind of speaking personally, when I knew I was gay from quite an early age, it's not something you suddenly, the light comes on when you're kind of 18 and that's that, you kind of know. So.
Do you mind telling me about that? How old were you when you thought that you probably preferred girls?
I remember kind of having crushes on girls and liking girls from about 12 years old. But
you must have, if you were a fairly self-aware, intelligent person, you must have asked yourself then, is that just because I really like this friend? Because I think lots of teenage girls and boys do go through that thing where they just can't bear to be without that friend, and it doesn't mean necessarily, it feels like love, and it is love to a degree, and you must question yourself as to, what is this?
Absolutely. And I distinctly remember reading kind of the teenage girl magazines, and I do remember reading one article where a girl had written in and said, I think I fancy my best friend, and whoever answered the question, the agony answer to speak, had said it's just a phase and it's part of growing up and it's puberty. Obviously it wasn't for me, and I don't know whether it was for that girl. But yeah, of course, I then went on and had boyfriends and stuff, and just put it down to part of growing up. It's not. But yeah.
Yeah. We'll carry on looking at the papers and the stories in the papers a little bit later on with Lucy, but for now, though, we're joined by Lucy Gorman, who is here to look through the papers with us. And in the Daily Mail today, this has got Daily Mail written all over it. Man's best friend finds him a wife, Lucy.
Yeah, I thought it was quite a nice, light-hearted one. What's happened is, I think one of them was on Match.com. And
the dog or the man?
No, the man.
Right,
okay. And one of their friends decided to switch their profile picture to a picture of their Labrador, George. And I think the lady saw it and thought, I've always wanted a dog. I'll give this guy a little message. He seems like fun. Like he must be to put a dog as his profile picture, and they ended up getting married.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, lovely.
Fantastic story.
I'm a big animal fan myself. We have 2 dogs at home, and we're getting another in a few weeks. This one really stood out for me.
It might have done it for me if it was a cat. I'm more of a cat person. If it'd been a photograph of a cat. But like you say, I suppose it shows that they've got a sense of humour. And also that so many people, as we know, are getting together through the internet these days.
Yeah,
as well.
it's a big thing. I think with people kind of having such busy lifestyles these days, it's you know, you tend to spend a lot of time on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that, and I think it's probably just easy to kind of log on to a dating site and have a scroll through and see what takes your fancy. But yeah, it's very popular.
Yeah, it's an exciting twist on the dating world, isn't it? Really,
it is really, yeah. And it seems to be working. I think there was, and I think there's maybe still is a little bit of kind of haze of we met on the internet.
Yeah, people still a bit embarrassed about it.
Yeah, but I think that's fading kind of more and more. It's perfectly acceptable to meet people on the internet, and it is.
Yeah. Finally, then, back to the issue of gay marriage, which is a major news story, of course, nationally today.
Yeah.
And in the Times, the bishop condemns church's cruel ban on gay clergy getting married.
Yeah. This is a massive deal. The Church of England, although it's legal to get married now in England, the Church of England issued a pastoral statement a few months ago now, basically reiterating the Church of England's stance on it, saying that there won't be same-sex marriages within the Church of England, and they won't be blessing same-sex marriages either. So being a member of the Church of England myself, obviously that did really hurt. But yeah, it's caused a lot of discussion, and quite a few kind of gay clergy are planning on getting married, despite this statement that basically says if you do get married, then you may be asked to step down. So yeah, the Bishop of Buckingham yesterday, Alan Wilson, wrote for Pink News that he thinks it's just sheer cruelty. Most gay people would be happier out, including bishops. And something else that really stood out for me as well, that I've said before, especially along the lines of not being able to bless same-sex marriages, is he's written, "I've blessed a lot of things. I once blessed a bucket of cement in India. It seems to me very difficult to say that you can't bless this."
Yeah.
Which is true, you know. Vicars bless tables, they bless animals, they bless buckets of cement, but they can't bless a couple who love each other and want to spend the rest of their lives together.
I can't imagine what it must be like to have to hide your love for somebody, you know, and to hide the fact that you are together. Like, for example, my partner, I'm in a heterosexual relationship, my partner and I were going out for a drink this evening with some friends. Imagine if we had to pretend for all the whatever it is 10 years that we've been together that we're just mates.
Yeah, and I've known quite a few couples who have been in that situation where they might live together, but people think they live together as friends, and they don't show that relationship to anyone else. You know, everyone will know, whether you're straight or gay, that when you enter a new relationship and you fall in love with someone, you want to shout it from the tops of the roof, top of the roof, and to not feel like you can do that, and to be persecuted and to potentially lose your job and family and friends is just awful, whatever you believe.
Thanks very much for coming in today, Lucy. Just a quick word about your next meeting, which is quite a big deal, apparently.
It is, yeah. Our next meeting is on Saturday the 26th of April. It's at St Ninian's Church on Chance Ave. And we have a lady called Rachel Mann coming to speak to us, and she is a transgendered lesbian Church of England vicar, so you can't get any more labels than that. It's open to absolutely everyone, whether you're a Christian, whether you're gay, whether you believe kind of being gay is all right or not. It's open to everyone. Come along, ask questions, meet us, take it from there.
Okay, lovely. Thanks again then. Lucy Gorman from the... do you know, I had to write it down. It's such a long title. You're from the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual and Transgender Christian Fellowship in Hull. That's it. Coming at 9:15 then on BBC Radio Humberside. Sally Fairfax here with you till 10. Just a quick word, because we have had a call from somebody quite angry about how much coverage we've given to this story today. It is a huge national story of great importance. I used the word momentous earlier on. I mean, it's momentous whether you like it or not. It's a big deal, and it is something that we are talking about across the whole of England today. This person, however, says that he's very opposed to the legislation, and he's upset that more balanced debate isn't being given to the subject. Paul, we certainly have been referring to many of the texts that we've had today, and I've given them plenty of airtime, and I haven't said whether I think they're right and wrong, but understandably, as part of my job, I have put them across to people like Lucy to see what she thinks about the issue. And you're very welcome to say what you think, and as you have, you said you're very opposed to the legislation. It is something we also discussed on the breakfast show earlier on in the week, and as we understand, the BBC is an organisation that tries very hard to be unbiased in what it says about different issues in the news, but that doesn't change the fact that this is a big story today.